beyond boundaries. Jamin stepped off the rickety bus into the heart of an African village that seemed alive with color. The sun bathed the clay houses in a golden glow, children ran barefoot, and the air carried the scent of fresh earth and cooking fires. As a volunteer teacher, he had come to bring knowledge, but little did he know that this village held a lesson of its own. From the moment he arrived, the villagers treated him like an honored guest. The chief, an elderly man with wise eyes, welcomed him warmly, and the children giggled as they peeked shyly from behind their mothers. Jamin quickly settled into his role, teaching the children numbers and equations while helping to build a new community center. But one day, while the other children laughed and played, his eyes caught sight of a young woman sitting at the edge of the schoolyard. Her crutch rested beside her, and she watched the children with a longing that seemed to pierce Jamin's heart. "Who is she?" he asked the chief. The chief's face darkened. "Adiz," he said, almost spitting the name. "She is cursed, born weak and now useless. We do not speak of her." Jamin didn't believe in curses. Driven by curiosity and compassion, he approached Adiz the next day. At first, she refused to look at him, her dark eyes fixed on the ground. "Why do you care?" she asked bitterly. "Because everyone deserves kindness," Jamin replied. Day by day, he earned her trust. Slowly, she began to share her story. As a child, she had been stricken with an illness that left her unable to walk without aid. Her family believed she was cursed, a bringer of bad luck. She had grown up shunned, her dreams of becoming a master weaver crushed under the weight of rejection. But there was a fire in Adiz, one Jamin could see. He encouraged her to show him her weaving, and when she finally did, he was stunned. Her hands wove stories into fabric, patterns inspired by the trees, rivers, and skies. The fabrics were breathtaking, unlike anything he had seen before. "You must share these," he urged her. Adiz shook her head. "No one here will ever accept me or my work." Jamin wouldn't give up. He took her work to the village market, setting up a small stall to display her creations. But instead of admiration, they were met with scorn. The chief's son, Emeka, led the mocking crowd, accusing Jamin of defying their traditions and bringing shame by elevating an outcast. Adiz ran home in tears, and Jamin followed. That night, under the glow of a lantern, he promised her they would prove everyone wrong. Together, they worked tirelessly. Jamin used his connections to organize a small exhibition in the city, showcasing her fabrics to a broader audience. The exhibition was a triumph. Buyers flocked to admire Adiz's work, and soon her name began to spread beyond the village. Reporters came to interview her, calling her the Weaver of Dreams. Back in the village, the people who had once mocked her now clamored for her attention, desperate to claim her success as their own. But Adiz did not forget the pain they had caused her. When the chief himself came to offer his apologies, she stood tall. "You did not believe in me when I needed you," she said. "But I am grateful to Jamin, who saw my worth when no one else did." As the villagers cheered for her, a darker truth emerged. Emeka, consumed by jealousy, confessed that he had spread the lies about her being cursed to keep her from rising above him. The villagers turned on him, banishing him from the community. When the time came for Jamin to leave, he found himself torn. On the last evening, as the village celebrated Adiz's success, he took her hand. "I'm proud of you," he said, "but I don't want to leave without you." Adiz stared at him, her heart pounding. For years, she had thought herself unworthy of love. But here was a man who had crossed oceans to see her, not as a curse, but as a gift. "I'll go with you," she whispered. And so, under the African moonlight, Jamin and Adiz began a journey together, proving that love knows no boundaries and that even the most broken dreams can be rewoven into something beautiful.